The Great Valley of Central California lies almost in the center of the state, 100 miles long and 60 miles wide. The city of Fresno is known as the raisin center of the world. Men use the hot sun of the long, rainless summer to dry grapes into raisins, plums into prunes, as well as figs, pears, and apricots. But most of the crops go to nearby Fresno, where they are prepared for market.
Food security. I mean, that's something that is coming more and more in the news. And we think of this country being so abundant in food and so available, yet we have people that are going hungry. So how do we define this?
And hunger is easy or painful sensation caused by lack of food, the recurrent and involuntary lack of food. Hunger may produce malnutrition over time. Hunger is a potential consequence of food insecurity. So now let's talk a little bit about food insecurity. Food insecurity exists when the availability of nutritionally adequate and safe foods, or the ability to acquire acceptable foods in socially acceptable ways, it's a mouthful, is limited or uncertain. It's that uncertainty that's key here when we talk about food insecurity. You don't know when your next meal may be available.
Or where it's coming from.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. And as we all know, food insecurity and hunger can lead to a couple of things, including depression, poor physical health, mental health issues.
My name is Christopher De Leon. I'm the Community Gardens Manager here with Fresno Metro Ministry at the Yeovil Community Garden and Urban Farm Incubator. It's just an area that has been disinvested for a very long time. So, you know, lots of history of redlining, a lot of history of racism, right? Like outright. Area seemed as dangerous, and so can't get enough loans to start developing here, can't get enough loans to put even grocery stores, which is the whole reason why we had to do this project. The factory being in their neighborhood, so there's a lot of, they just release all of the gases that build up at once, and so it creates a really bad smell, but it also affects the livelihood of the people around it. It causes more pollution in the area. A lot more big trucks come by here, so there's a lot more industry, which affects people's health. And there's a huge difference in the lifespan too of someone living in this area versus other areas of Fresno. Perfect example of environmental racism and environmental pollution. In it, like residents that live here travel really far away to bring produce, especially if you don't have a car and you're just on bus. It really limits how much food you can bring. And it also affects people's intakes of like vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, which is why this project is so important. Like instead of having a grocery store come here and then we try to get farmers to give us food, we were just like, let's skip all of that. We'll utilize the empty lots that are around the neighborhood to empower residents to grow their own food, to teach classes on growing food. Some people already even know how to grow their own food, so we're just building community and connecting residents that already do to those that want to. And then we're also starting a farm training program in the back. So we're training 3 farmers every 3 years on how to start their own urban lot, their own urban farm, and they're gonna sell at the front at a farm stand as well. I think COVID has showed us that our system is more fragile than we used to think it was. We tend to be pretty comfortable with going to the store, purchasing groceries. But if we just localize our food systems and have more local food options, you know, like more urban farms in rural communities, more urban farms in these like ugly, unused, vacant lots that are around that have so much potential, we can really activate like more food safety, more community building, more access to fresh fruits and vegetables in our own backyards.
My name is Reverend Dr. Floyd D. Harris Jr. I'm the one they call former Dr. Harris here on the West Coast, Fresno, California. I am the founder of the Fresno Freedom School here. We are just happy and excited to be here this morning with Brother Edward to give him a tour of the 3 different sites that our Freedom School kids form here in West Fresno. This is very historic. This is very intentional during this pandemic time where we can bless other people and other folks in this community. Fresno has the highest concentration of poverty, and we're trying to change that narrative by growing organic, fresh West Side vegetables. And so what we did this morning, we did a tour at each site. We talked about the different variety of vegetables that we're growing. Here we have black-eyed peas, eggplants, honeydews here, okra, and tomatoes, big beef tomatoes here at this site. Our other site, we have pretty much the same, but we have onions at our other site, as well as red onions, white onions, green onions, as well as sweet potatoes. We have sweet potatoes as well. And in our other site, we have the same, but we have watermelons as well, and everything else. And so we're just here to empower these young people here. We put about 113 kids in the Black historical colleges. And so these young people are putting in hours. They put in over 400 hours here at this site, 400 hours at the site where my church is, Free and Me, and another 400 hours at my location. My front yard is just a full-fledged, what would I call it, vegetable garden. Again, we're just excited. You can go to our website, www.fresnofreedomschool.org. We also have a Facebook, Fresno Freedom School you can go to. We've also been nationally recognized by Civil Eats, which is a national online ag newspaper. These children here have, again, put in the time 2 or 3 times a week. Early up this morning at 5 o'clock while everybody's still asleep. They're out here, exercising and getting their blood flowing and, just doing the right thing. A lot of our children, some of them get a bad rap, but we're here to change that narrative. At ease. Everyone here to the Fresno Freedom School here this morning. We're here at Free and Me, which is our home base here, our headquarters for the Fresno Freedom School. We're here to educate, motivate, energize, organize, and mobilize to take our youth to a higher level. Turn boys into what?
Man.
Turn boys into what?
Man.
Okay.
Good morning. Today we're going to be doing some more exercising. So what we're going to be doing is jumping jacks. Ready? Begin. 4, 5.
One of the things I explained to you gentlemen earlier, I'm going to explain to you again, is that you have to stop eating a lot of sugar. You have to stop eating junk food. If you eat junk food, you will feel junky, you will look junky, and you will act junky. One of the things at the Fresno Freedom School, we grow all our food organically. No pesticides. Attention. No pesticides. All organic. And we can take food that has not been sitting in a warehouse for 2 years and go to the grocery store and purchase it with a bunch of pesticides on it. That's how we get cancer. So we are disciplined. We put in the time, we put in the effort to grow our own food. We have 3 different sites here in West Fresno that we take care of. You gentlemen, you have changed the narrative of this generation in the 21st century. You will go down in history knowing and understanding that you are the ones who set the precedents for those who come after you. When you go into college, when you write your papers, when you do your essays, people will look at you in history and understand that this day, this time, you were here this morning changing the narrative of this country. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to help this generation to understand that, once upon a time that our black people were enslaved and we were made to work on plantations. A lot of our land was stolen. It's just bad stuff that happened to it. So what you see here is my grandmother taught me when I was his age or younger, and so now I'm taking what she taught me and I'm teaching them. And so it's just a beautiful thing. You know, it takes work though. I mean, what you see here is not, it just didn't say abracadabra and it all popped up. We're out here 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, fighting bugs, you know, watering. We talk to the plants because the plants is life. You know, we give the plants names, and and we come out here. We came out here and let them know how much we thank them right here. And this is partnership. It's a partnership. It's a relationship. And the plants are dependent on us to take care of them, and we're dependent on the plants to take care of us. So once we understand that union, then we'll have healthy plants and we'll be healthy too. So anyway, we're just excited. We hope that we said something today. We encourage folks today to, grow your own food. I'm gonna keep saying that, grow your own food. It doesn't take much. You can use a bucket, you can use a cup, you can use anything. Old washing machine, old mop bucket, do something, but grow your own food. The food in the stores has pesticides on it. It's been sitting in the warehouse for 3 years, then they put it out and we just run over there buying it like it's on sale. Well, you just walk out your front door, pick your tomato, pick you some lettuce, pick you some onions, and grow your own food. So I'll leave that with you today. Grow your own food. Again, this is former Dr. Harris, founder of the Fresno Freedom School. We also have a PayPal that you can go to, freedoms79@yahoo.com. freedoms79@yahoo.com, freedoms79@yahoo.com.